Hey everybody, Neil here from Post to Post. Welcome to Friday. That means Jersey Concepts here on the channel, where we reach out into the community, have those designers in the community send in their work, and we look at it, we react to it, and we have some fun. We dissect all the designs that they submit. Usually it's 32 NHL teams every single Friday. However, today's a little bit different. We've got quite a bit to look at. I believe it's 98. Let me double check. It's 98 Jersey Concepts today in this video, submitted by John Dolan. I have not seen these before, so I'm not sure what the 98 are. I don't know. I assume it's home away, maybe an alternate or home away, and some specialty ones, or something like that. But I'm not sure. Let's find out together. Let's have some fun. And if you like this kind of thing, hockey, logos, jerseys, design, you gotta hit the subscribe button if you're new. Would love to have you here. Let's jump in and let's see what John's got for us. Starting off with Anaheim coming up first. Okay, so we've got, it looks like home, away, and possibly alternate here. And I think this is obviously this is pretty close to what they use now, home and away. It's not identical, but it's pretty close. The alternate is not what we have, but something that we maybe should have. We have kind of a, it's not kind of, it is a black kind of version of this from a couple of years ago. But it might be kind of cool to have this come back, like more so exactly like it looks here, with the purple as the primary, with the green as the secondary. I'm okay with this setup. If this is John's vision for the Anaheim Ducks, I'm okay with this. Next, the Boston Bruins. Let's see what his vision is here. So home and away, pretty similar to what they use now. I don't even think that really changes that much. But the alternate is, I guess, what was it, Winter Classic from a couple of years ago with just inverse colors, using yellow as the primary instead of the black. It's not my favorite logo combination. It's not very far from my favorite primary color. But it's Boston. It's using every single thing that they kind of used in the past. So yeah, it's not really up my wheelhouse, but I can completely understand the logic behind it, and I'm sure Boston fans would really like this. So I think this is an okay vision for Boston as well. Buffalo, home and away. Away has been changed a little bit. Home, I think maybe the striping is changed a little bit, but generally pretty much the same. And for his alternate, his vision is the goat head, but not the traditional goat head. It is a white version of the goat head with different striping. It's not a bad jersey at all, actually. It's quite nice, but I just prefer the one that we have now. The dark one, the one that's a little bit more fancy and a little bit more modern with the striping and stuff. But yeah, not bad here. Carolina. So we've got charcoal gray shoulders with the shoulder patch kind of hidden in there, like it was in that alternate and their home jersey, which I'm okay with. I'm not sure how I feel about it in the away jersey though. Like the way that the logos are done on the shoulder, it's almost a little bit distracting. I would kind of want to see maybe a gray version. I mean, technically it is a gray version, but it's a really, really dark gray. I'm talking like a lighter gray, so it blends in with the lighter gray that's on the shoulders, much like the darker logos blends in with the darker shoulders on the home jersey. Other than that, looks pretty good in white, honestly. And then the alternate jersey, it's a Hartford Whalers inspired Carolina Hurricanes crossover. That's basically what that is. Alternating or opposing shoulder patches, they don't match. You've got Pucky on one shoulder and then the warning flag logo on the other. It's not bad. It's not bad at all. I think that would be an okay alternate. It wouldn't be my first choice, but Columbus. So home jersey, untouched other than the logo. The logo's been swapped for the Canon logo. The away jersey, pretty much the same thing. I think maybe the outline of the C is potentially different. The alternate jersey has been, I guess, touched a little bit with different generations, like the logo, obviously. The gray, we've seen a little bit. The Ohio State flag, I don't know if they've actually ever used the Ohio State flag on the shoulder. The striping is probably a miss for me. I think it's a little bit too busy down below. I would maybe just make it shorter and then move it down a little bit, maybe add some of that similarity to the bottom of the sleeve as well, but it's okay. Calgary Flames, okay, home and away, pretty similar again to what they use now. This isn't necessarily a bad thing. Sometimes we look at Jersey Concepts every Friday and every single jersey is completely different, and we're like, whoa, okay, will this fit? Yes, no. But it's also okay when jersey designers submit what they think is the best for each team. And a lot of times that just means what currently exists. So there's 3 jerseys on this screen. 2 of them are pretty close to something that already exists. 1 almost identical. And that's not a bad thing. That's a good thing. Like, it's good to see designers' vision. Just because you're submitting things to the channel doesn't mean that they have to be completely different than what already exists. This is honestly a approach that I really respect, is looking at something that already exists and not changing it just because you feel like you need to change it because you're doing a whole set. If you see it for what it is and realize that it's very popular, it is nice, maybe I don't need to change that, but let me do something cool with the alternate. So I really like John's approach to this. I think it's very logical and it's very smart. His alternate jersey here, it definitely would not be in my probably top 5 of alternates, but it's a pretty cool jersey. I actually like the amount of yellow at the bottom, even though it doesn't really balance well with the top of the jersey because there's not too much yellow up there in terms of like real estate. There is yellow, but just not as much as there is at the bottom. But I like it. I like the yellow at the bottom. I like the logo that's chosen. That's pretty cool as well. Chicago Blackhawks, another really good example of, the home and away not really changing at all. I think that's a pretty smart decision. That's the best decision. The alternate jersey is just using the alternate logo as the primary logo, and it's a bit of a rip of, oh my God, they've had so many jerseys recently. I don't even know. Was it a Winter Classic or Reverse Retro 2.0 maybe? I think it was maybe. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was that. Of the general jersey design here. It's okay. Not bad. Colorado, home, away, pretty much untouched. Alternate, pretty much untouched. I mean, not really much to say here. Good decision making, I guess. Dallas Stars. Okay, so here's a completely different vision from the designer. Different home, different away, and then the alternate. That's kind of remained. That neon kind of style logo or that neon style jersey. That's very popular. So yes, we'll keep the alternate because it's very loved. Not that the home and the away isn't, but I think it's time for a rebrand, and I think John recognizes that as well. So why not do something a little bit with the home and a little bit with the away and keep the alternate as it is? So really good logic here from John so far. It's an okay home, it's an okay away. I'm not a huge fan of the logo. I like the jersey designs, like design-wise, having the star back in there and not just a line as a separation piece in the jersey. That's where they have to go. So great home, great away. I would just change the logos. Those logos aren't necessarily for me. Detroit. Font change on Detroit for home and away, I believe. I do not recognize that C unless I'm not paying enough attention to Detroit. The design-wise, they're pretty much the same. The away, it is something that Detroit would do, isn't it? Like, just Detroit on the front, appeasing the people that want the black as an alternate, giving it to them, but not exactly giving what they want. It's not necessarily what I would do, but it's not bad. Edmonton Oilers, we have regular home and away, and then the alternate jersey is kind of reverse retro too, but tweaked a little bit. It's got no orange in there. I like it. Just a regular cog jersey as an alternate jersey I think is very smart. Next to Florida, okay, we got 4 jerseys for the Florida Panthers. Home and away, pretty much exactly the same we have now. Alternate jersey is really an inverse, not an inverse, but the same design, but a swap of color. Having the blues as the primary with no red, dark blue, light blue, that looks really good. It matches the current brand of the home and the away. It's still within their colors that they use, so that makes total sense. And then the other one, which is actually can't see what it says in the background. I think it says Winter Classic in the background, but that doesn't look Winter Classic to me. That looks Stadium Series, big time Stadium Series for me. So it's Vice City inspired. It's pretty nice. LA Kings, absolutely for me for this one. Home and away is pretty much exactly what they use now. And the away jersey, I would love to see something like that. That would be so popular if they started to wear that. That would sell very, very well. Minnesota Wild, home and away. So home is alternate with a tweak, which is good. Away, beautiful with a tweak. That's basically Reverse Retro 1, Reverse Retro 2. And then the alternate jersey is a weird mix between the two M logos. We've got an M for Minnesota and a W, an upside down M for Wild. So Minnesota Wild there on the front with some purple. I like the purple. Not a huge fan of the logo, but that's really personal preference. I think most people would be okay with that. Montreal Canadiens, home is exactly the same. The away jersey is the 1944-1945 base jersey. It's not the best version that I've seen of that, but it is good. It's the direction I'd like to see them go. And then the alternate is the Reverse Retro 2.0, which I think makes sense. That's cool. All of the stripe in the background, so keeping it coherent. And then New Jersey, wow, we've definitely switched up home and away. We've got green as the secondary color instead of black. There's actually no black in there at all. That's not something that I would do, but seeing it, it's not actually as bad as, if it's a I'm going to redesign the Devils home and away jersey. I'm going to keep the design basically the same, but I'm not going to put any black in there. I'm going to put green. I'd be like, I don't know about that. That's not a great idea. But seeing it looks pretty good. I don't honestly. It's one of the better versions of going back to the green that I've seen. And then the alternate jersey is pretty close to, what was it, Reverse Retro 1.0, I think it was. Pretty good. Matches the brand. Nashville, yeah. Honestly, for a yellow primary jersey, that's pretty well executed. I like the stripe in the background. The logo isn't my favorite, but it's still very good. The away looks very good. That's very Winter Classic 2020. Alternate jersey is not bad. I don't love the number, like the guitar pick holding the number on there. It just feels quite busy in the arms. And you have a very angular striping pattern on the bottom of the sleeves coming down, and squared off shoulders, so sharp edges, but then you've got a very rounded section on the arm, so just design-wise, it kind of clashes a little bit. The Islanders home and away, pretty much the same, and then the alternate jersey is the Fisherman, a white version. I would like that. I know a lot of people wouldn't, though, so we'll leave it to that. The Rangers home, pretty much the same, other than that new shoulder patch that John has added. The away jersey is different. Front of the shoulders are different. Shoulders in general are different. I think the stripes are different as well. And then obviously the logo on the shoulders. I think I prefer what they use now. And then a really cool alternate jersey is combining the Liberty jersey from the 90s into Reverse Retro 1 into Reverse Retro 2. The color in there that's being pulled, so that's nice to see, right straight from the Lady Liberty. And then the other alternates is okay, using the primary logo on there, which they don't use now. Not bad. Ottawa Senators. Home is okay. It's very Reverse Retro 1.0, I think. A little Santa belt. I like the away jersey, though. The away jersey's pretty clean. That's nice. And then the alternate jersey, that is pretty good as well. Honestly, I like that a lot. It's very 2017, 2018 Ottawa Senators 100 Classic inverted. So, good stuff. Philadelphia Flyers. Okay, decent home, decent away, and then pretty much the same alternate that they have now. I have nothing negative to say about this one. This is all around a pretty good decision. Pittsburgh Penguins, same home, same away. And then the alternate jersey, I think Adidas did like a vintage release series of maybe 4 to 6 jerseys. This was probably 3 years ago. And there was a Pittsburgh jersey like this that was released. And I think it was LA, it was San Jose, I think maybe had one, Pittsburgh. I think there was the Nordiques and a couple of other teams too. But to have this jersey come back in a Fanatics cut would be pretty cool. Now, they have an alternate jersey that was in the Adidas years, I think, that used this, but with a regular black and gold and white, which is very nice. But having the blue pulled back, I'm okay with this. I don't, if you're a Pittsburgh fan, you let me know what you think about that one down below in the comment section. Seattle, home and away, pretty much the same. The alternate jersey, I can see people not liking that because the green feels a little bit out of place, but I like it. It's pretty cool. It's one of those jerseys that I would really love to have in my collection. It's very, very cool. I would love to see them do something like that. So I'm a fan of that. San Jose, home and away, pretty close to what they use now. Alternate, love it. Yeah, I think that's great. I think having a black as a permanent alternate like this. I know they have that other one, but this is good. I like the logo. Like the logo really pops on there. I like the orange highlight on the stripes on the arms. That looks pretty good. St. Louis, home and away. Obviously, big changes here. I think for the most part, it's pretty good. I don't love the shoulder patch. Other than that, I like both jerseys. The alternate jersey is pretty cool. I do like that. I think there's maybe some, like the yellow on the white almost doesn't stand out as much. It needs a black stroke or something just to give it some depth to pop off of there. Other than that, it's a pretty cool alternate. Whoa, Tampa Bay Lightning. Oh my goodness. It's kind of grungy, kind of spray paint grungy. I don't mind it. Like, I really don't mind it. It's a bit bold, but I think it's desperately needed that they do something. So if this was the direction they were going, okay, that's fine. It would all be a sublimation print on both jerseys. The alternate jersey is pretty close to what we have now or recently, so that's pretty good. Toronto Maple Leafs, home and away, pretty much the same. And then the alternate jersey is not a direction that I would go. I think you could do something pretty modern with a Toronto alternate jersey. Put a big leaf on there or do something pretty cool. That's just a little bit too basic for me personally. Utah, same home and away. And then the alternate is the Yeti face, but they're not going to be called the Yeti or Yetis. So cool jersey, but I think maybe unrealistic, unfortunately. Vancouver, okay, taking the skate logo, recolorizing it into the current colors is not a bad play. I think that would be okay with the fans, but I think they would prefer just to keep that on the black alternate jersey, and then maybe keep the Orca with the green. I'm not sure. And then the Johnny Hockey down below, that looks very, very old school, almost soccer football kind of looking. Not personally a fan of that one. Vegas, is that red in the? I need to zoom in on my screen. The red in the white. No, that's gold fleck in the white of the sleeve in the home jersey. It's okay. Away is pretty much the same, and then the alternate is, we've seen basically these three jerseys before. Okay, Winnipeg Jets. Yep, classic home, classic away. We've seen both of these jerseys in Adidas cuts. They look good. The alternate jersey, I would say it's decent. I like the Canadian Maple Leaf on there. It feels a little bit big. I like the Jets on the front. I'm not sold on the gray, though. I might say I'd like to see it with black. I'd like to see a couple different colors. A really, really dark blue, a black, and maybe this gray, just so I can see. I want to see different versions of it, essentially. I want to decide. I don't hate it. I don't even really dislike it. I'm just wondering if it could be just a little bit better with a different backing color. And then the Washington Capitals, the last one here. Screaming Eagle home, Screaming Eagle away. I would pay money for the Washington Capitals to get on that horse and do Screaming Eagle home and away just like this. That would be very cool. And then the alternate jersey, I can foresee a lot of people maybe not being okay with that one. I know that I'm in the minority when it comes to this specific jersey design, which is kind of retro for them. They did it in the Reebok years. They did it in the Adidas years. Not exactly this, but kind of variations. I really like it, but I know a lot of people don't. So we'll leave it at that. Wow, in terms of my favorite, was there actually 98 in there? Or was there 97? No, it was 98. It was, Florida had 4 and New York had 4. So in terms of my favorite collection, I'm not going to choose individual jersey, I don't think. I'll just choose what's the best logical setup for a team overall and see what John's best vision. That's going to be my vote. But I'm going to need a minute to look through these again. Okay, so we'll give an honorable shout out to Anaheim. I think that was, that's a pretty good set, honestly. The Devils one really kind of surprised me. A lot of designers do the green and the red and stuff, and they throw back, and I feel like it gets dated, but I actually really like that collection of 3. I think that looks pretty good. But I'm going to probably make the unpopular decision with most of the people watching. I'm going to go Washington Capitals. I really like the home, the away. Those are almost perfectly executed. And the alternate jersey is something that's right up my alley. So I like that quite a bit. So John, thank you so much for submitting 98 jersey concepts. Like I said at the beginning, usually we look at 32. We had 98 today, so we had to zip through a little bit faster than normal, but I hope you did enjoy. And of course, if you did, let me know down below in the comment section what was your favorite jersey from John's collection, or set, rather, if you want to tell me the favorite set. I'm sure John's going to read the comment section, so feel free to leave some constructive feedback and criticism down below for John to read. And like I said at the beginning, if you're new and you like this kind of stuff, would love to have you on board. Hit the subscribe button. We do it every single Friday here on the channel. And if you're a designer or thinking about being a designer, that's even better, because that means we get to look at your work in the future. And if you'd like to do that, down below in the description is a link and details, a video. I made a video talking about how to submit to the channel. You can go down to the description of this video, click on that link, watch that next video, and then come up with your designs. Send them in. I would love, love, love to see them. And if you don't have a template, you can get the exact same template that we saw in this video over at sportstemplates.net. And if you use my code post-to-post, that's going to save you 10% on that template. But if you want to get a different hockey template, there are definitely others over there. We've got full uniform templates. We've got a flat leg uniform template. There are arena templates and also some free hockey ones too. I think there's a free goalie mask one. There's also a paid goalie mask one. But regardless of what template you get, if it costs money, make sure you use the code post-to-post and save yourself that 10%. And if you want to dive into some other sports, there are other sports on there as well. Over 70 templates on the site total. So browse around, have some fun looking over there, and then send in your designs when you have a full set. And like I said, details on how to do that are down below in the description. Hope you have a great start to your weekend, and I'll talk to you very soon. Adios.